My colleague Thoya Jakshi is back with us on the phone line, getting us all the details and keeping Newsline ahead. Thoya Jakshi, we are playing out these live visuals on the screens right now, which shows Nirmala Sitharaman, who has reached the hospital to meet the family members of the victims. What is expected today here on? Is it only going to be the hospital visit, or is she scheduled to meet the families of the victims at any other location as well?
Well, Samya, the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has reached the Karur Government Hospital to meet the survivors and families of the victims of the devastating stampede that killed 41 people and left over 50 injured, during the actor turned politician Vijay's Tamilaga Vetri Karagam's rally, which happened in Karur on the September 27th, where now she will be accompanied by the Union Minister of the State, L. Murugan, and the BJP State President, Nayanar Nagendra, and is expected to visit hospitals and express her condolences to the families who have lost their loved ones. Now that the tragedy has occurred after a massive, crowd gathered to hear the Vijay speech, campaign for the election in the 2026, where now, according to the officials that we're getting in over here, the rally venue, became dangerously overcrowded due to this, this stampede-like situation occurred. Now, currently, that Nirmala Sitharaman's main schedule for today is to meet the families of the victims and meet the families of the who have lost their loved ones, Samya.
Absolutely, Thoya Jakshi. While she is there at the hospital, how long is she expected to be there? Are there going to be any other local unit leaders who are also going to join Nirmala Sitharaman, who is right now at the hospital?
Well, like I clearly mentioned that she will be accompanied by the Union Minister of the State, Mr. L. Murugan, and the Tamil Nadu BJP State President, Nayanar Nagendran, and the local unit leaders of BJP from Karur district and from Madurai district, as well as from Coimbatore district, is also going to join her, to go and visit the families of the victims who have lost their loved ones. And also she will be visiting the Karur Government Hospital, where the survivors are currently taking treatment, Samya.
Do we expect anybody from TVK, a representative or any other leader who are going to be present over there at the hospital to meet Nirmala Sitharaman or meet the family members of the victims?
Currently, there is no such information that we are getting over here because TVK has filed a petition at the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, where I previously mentioned that on behalf of TVK, Adav Arjuna, the election in charge, Adav Arjuna's side, they have filed a petition seeking for an CBI inquiry, where Adav Arjuna, being the election in charge for TVK party, where he has directly hit on the ex-minister of TMK, Mr. Sendil Balaji, where he states that the entire incident happened and the mastermind behind the entire stampede-like situation was created by Sendil Balaji. So now that the TVK side has filed a petition, this is the second petition that the TVK is filing at the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, Samya, because the previous petition which they filed is to get the permission to go to Karur and meet the people and meet the victims. And currently, the court has also, cancelled its hearing due to the, Dasara vacation. So now the further hearing will be happening on the Friday, Samya.
Very interesting information you're giving us over here, Thoya Jakshi. Also, anybody from the DMK who has been in touch with the family members of the victims or is present at the hospital to ensure that those who are at this hour of need require anything at all over and beyond medical assistance are given the due?
Yes, Samya, from the time the stampede-like situation happened on the September 27th, where you can see that, Sendil Balaji, the ex-minister of TMK, who is constantly in touch with the victims' families and who is in the hospital since 27th September. That is since Saturday evening around 8:30 p.m. onwards. Sendil Balaji is the only ex-minister of TMK who is in constant touch with the families. But you can also see that in the visuals where he is the person, who is actually helping the, people to take the victims inside the hospital. On the other hand, after the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin gives an order, for immediately Health Minister Ma Subramaniam and also the Education Minister Anbil Magesh was also at Karur that night. Since then, Anbil Magesh, the Higher Education Minister, the Medical Minister, the Health Minister Ma Subramaniam, and the DMK ex-minister Sendil Balaji, these three DMK ministers are constantly in touch with the victims and taking care of all their needs. Where on the other hand, you have also seen that the Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin, who also visited this spot and who also spoke to the victims. At that point of time, also you can see that Sendil Balaji was the only minister, ex-minister, who was with Udayanidhi Stalin and directing him that who and what happened. He was the only person who was there. And on the other hand, when you see that when a former BJP president of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Annamalai, when he visited the hospital yesterday evening, at that point of time also even Sendil Balaji was the only ex-minister from the DMK who was present at the hospital. So currently, Sendil Balaji is the only person who is currently at the hospital, who is taking care of the victims and the families who have lost their loved ones.
Absolutely tragic, Thuyajakshi, but thank you for getting us all the details and keeping Newsline ahead. We shall leave it at that for the moment. Now, after the tragic stampede at actor turned politician Vijay's rally, which left over 40 people dead, several posters have appeared across several areas accusing Vijay of being responsible for the chaos. One poster, allegedly put up by the Tamil Nadu Students' Union, demands Vijay's arrest, calling him a political figure who took the lives of 39 innocent people and escaped. The posters claim there is a deliberate attempt to defame TVK and shift public anger, while suggesting that the ruling party is the true culprit. Authorities have not yet confirmed who was behind the posters, and investigation into the cause of the stampede are ongoing. The tragic stampede had occurred during a campaign event in Karur district for Vijay's party TVK ahead of next year's state elections. My colleague Verghese is joining me right now to get us more details. Well, Verghese, what we're given to understand is that this entire tragedy seems to have taken a political turn, where we are now looking at posters over and beyond the blame game. This particular posters that we are showing on our screens right now solely holds Vijay responsible for all the chaos and the stampede that claimed over 40 lives.
Well, it does, and interestingly enough, if you notice how the posters have been made, Samya, Vijay's hand has been colored red. Now, nobody knows as to who is responsible for bringing out these posters, but those posters actually showcase the issue which is already happening in Karur, where they are blaming the entire stampede on Vijay. And interestingly enough, they have colored it red, saying that there is blood on his hands, especially over the incident that happened in Karur. So clearly, at the moment, it looks like this stampede has in fact come at a very wrong time for Vijay, especially when he was taking that political plunge. And at the same time, what happened in Karur has been now politicized to the extent where they are in fact trying to find a chink in the TVK's armor, which would have a complete narrative change when it comes to his campaigns further. The tragedy in Karur now being completely squarely blamed on Vijay, but nobody, interestingly, has come out claiming as to which party or who is in fact putting out these posters. But these posters being put across the area in Karur and at the same time in adjoining districts as well, pinning the blame completely on him. And interestingly enough, with the raised hand of Vijay, which has been one of the pictures that have been used by TVK to go ahead and campaign for the next year's elections. That particular picture has been used by those who are putting these putting these posters. They have colored it red to specifically say that this entire Karur incident, there's only one person to blame, and that is Vijay. So clearly, politics also being played out as this tragedy unfolds.
Absolutely, Varghese. Those posters depicting Vijay with a bloodied hand to suggest that he has blood on his hands for over 40 people who lost their lives. But Varghese, as far as law and order is concerned, the arrangements are concerned, DMK cannot really absolve itself of all responsibility. Somewhere, it has to be accountable for not being able to ensure that there is a due diligence done so that there's enough security to avoid any untoward incident like this.
Well, the DMK, of course, cannot be absolved of what is happening, and we have the Annamalai, the BJP leader, who is also a former IPS officer, in fact, raising such questions over crowd control, the number of policemen who were there, the kind of permission that was given. He also went on to say that there was complete mismanagement when it comes to the manner in which the police handled the situation as well. Permission was given to for one area, but then it was later shifted to the other. The question of bureaucracy, how it worked when this permission was sought off. Elections are coming in, and therefore, he had in fact raised the question that you require a full-time DGP as well, who would look into such matters in 2026, because there's going to be a series of rallies that's going to come. Many parties are in fact going to go ahead and have those rallies. Many leaders are going to call for such rallies. How would the security arrangement in fact work out? And this, he said, is also a wake-up call to the government, who is to ensure that law and order, and especially crowd control when it comes to such campaigning happens, is actually in their purview. But however, the report that would be coming in from the judge, the thing would it be interesting to see as to what are the lapses that happened on several fronts. Did the lapses happen from the permission issue, or is it that these kind of crowds were not anticipated in that place? What was the condition that was put forward for the crowds to gather there, or TVK was given the kind of conditions that under which the TVK was supposed to hold this meeting? These are some of the questions that would be coming out in that report. So clearly everyone would be keeping their eyes on that report. But meanwhile, politicians also raising the issue that when it comes to crowd control, when it comes to the issue of law and order, when it comes to the heated 2026 polls and the series of campaigns that we launched by political parties, who is supposed to in fact take the complete question of security and for arrangements to be made. Annamalai had said that there were not even 100 police men to in fact gather this huge crowd. There were 27,000 is what the estimated numbers are. They were expecting something like 10,000 as a crowd, but it turned out to be much bigger than that, and therefore the police were completely overwhelmed, and there couldn't have been any way to control the crowds. And at the same time, there seems to be an inability on the organizers also to have it planned out.